Hello, this is Riley Porter with Seattle Sumo. You are listening to a commentary track for Day 7 of the 1964 Hatsu Basho. The video coverage for this tournament can be found on the Japan Sumo Association's YouTube channel. There will be a link for that included in the description for this track. You will of course need a $9 membership to access the video coverage, while this commentary is free. Well, as usual, I will count backwards from 3. 3, 2, 1. As I hit the N in 1, you'll click play on the video coverage and we will be in sync. Without further ado, I'll begin the countdown and get us started. 3, 2, 1. Futabayama, Taiho, Chiano Fuji, Archive. Alright, first up, Aranami. He's even so far, 3-3. Against veteran Fusanishiki, also 3-3. Aranami slaps and moves to the side. Fusanishiki gets pushing, but Aranami closes the distance and he's already got a Motozashi. Well, this puts him in a winning position here. He arches his back, going for a tsuri, and he's successful, finishing Fusanishiki tsuri dashi. So that brings Aranami to 4-3. Certainly his best outing to date. Last time he was in Makunochi, he did not fare very well at all. Fusanishiki struggling a little here on day 7. We'll see how things go as the tournament progresses. Kane no Hana is on 2-4, and also on 2-4 is his opponent, Kairyu Yama. It's a 4-2 head-to-head in Kane no Hana's favor. They both like to grapple. And inside with the right is Kane no Hana, swinging him away is Kairyu Yama with the outside left. And twisting him down is Kairyu Yama. So I don't know if you'd call that Uwate Hineri or Uwate Dashinage, or however, but it was a twisting away motion. He was twisting and pulling back with his outside left to bring down Kane no Hana. So Kairyu Yama gets his third win. Tsuni Nishiki, 3-3 against Ogiyama, 3-3. It's a 1-4 head-to-head in Ogiyama's favor. Tsuni Nishiki comes out pushing to the chest, pushing a little more on the ribs and the chest, and a big shove to finish things off. Oshi Taoshi, pushing crush out, so Tsuni Nishiki, typically a belt fighter, but goes all out pushing at a nice low angle off the tachiai, utilizing his stature, his stout frame, pick up his fourth win. Wakanaruto is against Tsurugamine. They're both on 2-4. And this is their first time meeting. Tsurugamine, the experienced veteran, Wakanaruto kind of hanging around the bottom of the division. Wakanaruto's in sharp, but Tsurugamine has already got Migiyotsu, outside left, inside right. He's pretty good on the belt. Tsurugamine does a full 360 spin around, picking up Wakanaruto, and now he finishes with a forward drive, hoisting up the belt and crushing out Wakanaruto Yoritaroshi. So, in their first encounter, Tsurugamine demonstrates his experience and superior power against Wakanaruto. Tsurugamine, 3-4, making his way back to the path to Kachikoshi, perhaps. Wakanaruto, 2-5. A little lost here in the first half. Wakahaguro is against Dewa Nishiki. These two are Makunochi veterans that have seen the tops of the Banzuke and have had 24 encounters, 21 of which have gone Wakahaguro's way. Sort of a non-tachiai, they both stand up and shuffle forward. Now they're pushing at each other. Wakahaguro is at the lower angle, digs inside, but Dewa Nishiki slides that left under Wakahaguro's armpit and sends him down Suinage. So Dewa Nishiki, normally a very defensive Dikishi, but against an opponent a little bigger than himself even, a little heavier I should say, not quite as tall, he doesn't waste too much time, goes for broke, goes for the throw, and it pays off. against a forward-leaning Wakahaguro. Kitano Fuji, who's just had his win streak broken, is against Hirokawa, who's also had a perfect run upset. Kitano Fuji's deep inside Morozashi and finishes off Hirokawa pretty quickly. Kitano Fuji, strong tachiai, great dayashi, just non-stop movement from the get. Gets both arms inside. He's a taller Rikishi, but he doesn't seem to have any issue getting into his opponents. A testament to his power. In any event, he goes to 6-1. Having a great debut so far. Wakanami is against Tochi Oyama. Tochi Oyama struggling on 1-5. Wakanami is not doing terribly. He's 3-3. 5-1 head-to-head in Tochi Oyama's favor. Tochi Oyama dodged at the charge by Wakanami, but he works his way back in. Gets an inside left, but Wakanami's got a deep outside right. And sends him backwards over his knee. Kirikaeshi. Backwards throwing knee trip. Knee pop, something like that. Backwards tossing knee trip. He planted his knee behind Tochi Oyama's leg and sent Tochi Oyama tripping backwards behind it. So Wakanami showing his technical prowess. Overcomes a struggling Tochi Oyama who moves to his 6th loss in 7 days. Wakamiyama bested Kitano Fuji yesterday, so he's on a roll, despite having suffered a loss to Kiyokuni previously. He's against Oginohana, the veteran. Wakamiyama moves in with the forearm, but he's a little high. Oginohana hustles forward. He's got the better of the movement off the tachiai. Wakamiyama trying to lock up those arms, but Oginohana's left is free, and he's making his way towards the belt. Wakamiyama's guarding himself, but Oginohana, he's got a deep inside right now. Wakamiyama drives forward. Oginohana, he was stumbling backwards, but I think that as Wakamiyama was driving him out, he lost his footing, slipped to the side, and landed on his left before Oginohana collapsed completely. So I think that that would be Oginohana's win. It looks like that's what they're going to call it, so I'm not sure what I might call that. Hikyo Toshi, Tsukyo Toshi, kind of a pulling maneuver in any event. Well, they're even today, 5-2. Oginohana showing his experience and his raw forward power, which is nice to see. Amatsukaze is against Kiyokuni. Kiyokuni, the only rank and filer yet to lose in this basho. And it's a pushing battle. Kiyokuni's thrusting at the chest, digs his head in, gets more thrusting done, does a little pull, and now Amatsukaze takes his cue to get some pushing going. And Kiyokuni's back on the assault, and it's come to grips now. Kiyokuni sinks the inside right. Amatsukaze, I think he's got the inside left, hard to tell from this angle, but I'm sure he'd like that outside. His hand's a little too far away. Kiyokuni, using that long torso to his advantage, tries for a sweep and drops his hips, moving in for the yori. Finishes things with an uwate nage, does Kiyokuni, pulling Amatsukaze away from the ring's edge and down onto the center. Kiyokuni, his 7th straight win. Well, he's having a great basho. I think he's only 1 win shy of his record last time out. So he has a good chance of turning in his best performance to date here. Pretty exciting for the Isegahama youngster. Uragawa is even 3-3 against Sawa Hikari, who's struggling a little here at his best career rank. Even start. Uragawa tries to work his way underneath. Sawa Hikari's at a decent angle, but his body's being raised up. Uragawa working his way forward. Sawa Hikari retreats to the side. Now he's got an outside right. His left's inside, and it's almost on the belt, but Uragawa guards himself. Sawa Hikari leaning forward, pushing into the chest with his head. He drives, and a little gut pumping at the end there, some gaburi to finish things off. Sawa Hikari picks up his 3rd win. Breaks even with Uragawa today. They're both 3-4. And Sawa Hikari evens up their head-to-head. Now it's 1-1. So Sawa Hikari staying focused and looking for the win. Not getting flustered here. He's been in it for every fight. He hasn't won them all, but he's showing a lot of spirit. That's his one prize to date, I believe, is his Kanto Show Fighting Spirit prize. The Shinpan are changing out. Some new judges in. Alright, now we have Toyokuni 3-3 against Fujinishiki 2-4. It's a 2-2 head-to-head. They're even so far. Fujinishiki, the more experienced of the two at this level, and he hops the gun. So we'll try again here. I think they're both okay with pushing. Fujinishiki is a little high, tries to slap down. Toyokuni doesn't waste any time. He's trying to muscle his way inside, but Fujinishiki, he's at a decent angle. He gets to pushing, but he puts a little too much forward lean on it. Toyokuni slips to the left, and Fujinishiki lands on his hands. So Toyokuni, I think they'll call that probably a Hikiotoshi, a hand pull down, something like that. Toyokuni pulling off a win there in front of one of his Oyakata. You see the Shinpan that just left, screen right. The former Wakabayama. Kainoyama is against Tamaarashi. They're both 1-5. It's a 1-1 head-to-head. Tamaarashi pushing up, Kainoyama bouncing off to the side. Kainoyama digs in deep now and is swung away at the very last moment. Tamaarashi twists on the edge and pulls a very brilliant uchari, sending Kainoyama flying past him. Wasn't sure if he even got the win, Tamaarashi. He did. It's 2-5, Kainoyama 1-6. He is quickly approaching a Makekoshi. A cigar puffing away here, just behind Tamaarashi. Daigo, a Sekiwake in good form this outing, is against Myobudani. Struggling a little here, but looking strong enough. It's a 5-2 head-to-head in Daigo's favor. Myobudani leads with the shoulder. Daigo's already got an inside left, and, well, really what did it was that outside left. My bad. Outside left for Daigo, tilts, hoists up Myobudani, finishes him Yorikiri, so not too much struggle there for Daigo. A decent charge from Myobudani, but couldn't quite make his way inside. He's got a strong back he likes to lift, and I'm sure Morozashi would have done him a lot of good this bout, but Daigo comes out ahead, gets to 5-2. Not looking too bad. Inverse score for Myobudani, 2-5. And predictably, Kotozakura has had to pull out after that pretty severe fall, collapsing backwards on his leg yesterday. So Tochi no Umi, looking for a Yokozuna promotion in this basho, is given a freebie today. Fusensho win, moves to 6-1. So his dreams of Tsuna stay alive. Now, his stablemate, Tochi Hikari, is against Haguro Hana, the only Dikishi in this basho yet to collect a win. Struggling here at the, what is for him a very high rank of Sekiwake. In their head-to-head, it's actually a 9-6 in Haguro Hana's favor, so odds would generally be for him. Tochi Hikari's got a good charge coming in low, pulls on the hands, and finishes Haguro Hana with a little slap on the back, so Hikiotoshi, Hataki Komi, either way he pulled him down. Tochi Hikari moves to 7-0. Stays perfect. Haguro Hana, 0-7. Perfectly unhappy place to be. One more is Makekoshi for the Tatsunami grappler. A little white cap here moving in behind Tochi Hikari. Wakachichibu is on 2-4 and he's against Ozeki Kitabayama on 3-3. They've had 18 meetings. Kitabayama has won 14 of them. So he's definitely got the number of the big man from Hanakago stable. Now head bonking start here. Wakachichibu starts to drive forward. Kitabayama pulls back, but now Kitabayama has sunk in the left. I don't know if he's quite on the belt yet, but he's in a low stance where he likes to work from. Using that Otsuke. Pushing off the searching hand of Wakachichibu. He's got that inside left. He's driving forward now. He's dropped his belt beneath Wakachichibu's and finishes him Yorikiri. Kitabayama A little dicey, a little messy for this Ozeki, but he got the job done. That's 4-3 for him. Pulls away from his bad form, which opened to this basho. Well, how good the form is one thing, but at the very least, he's looking more certain of a Kachikoshi at the very least. Standing there next to his stablemate, Aono Sato, both from Tokitsukaze. That cigar still puffing away. Sadanoyama, unblemished so far in this basho, is against Aono Sato, who is not doing very well. He's on 1-5. They had 11 meetings. Sadanoyama's won 10 of them. Sadanoyama pushes on the chest. He's thrusting away. Aono Sato gives him a stiff arm but doesn't move forward too much. Now Nodowa from Sadanoyama, and that sends Aono Sato tumbling backwards onto his seat. Sadanoyama, very commanding. Pretty aggressive. Doesn't leave much room for doubt. Gets a 7th win. One more Kachikoshi for Dewano Umi's top man. Arguably the most prestigious stable in sumo, really. That's a nice little brick pattern outfit for the Yobidashi there we just saw. Iwakaze, the crouching tiger from Wakamatsu stable, is on 2-4, struggling a little here against Yutakayama and Ozeki, whose usual hopes I think have been pretty well dashed at this point. He's already collected 2 losses in the first 6 days. As far as our head-to-head is concerned, it's 7-1 in Yutakayama's favor. Iwakaze comes in low, bounces off Yutakayama, but wraps the arm, moves inside, tries to get inside right with that belt, but Yutakayama pulls his hips back. He's hooking on the arm there. If I had to guess, I'd say he's working off an inside right, but I can't really see Iwakaze's belt very well. Yutakayama's leaning on him. Iwakaze's in the position he usually works from, a low stance, low angle, digging the head into the chest. Yutakayama grappling with the hand a bit there. Keeps guarding his belt. Iwakaze works his way inside. He's almost synced the inside right. He's not quite on the mawashi yet. Catching some shade there under Yutakayama's torso. Supporting a lot of weight on his neck and back here. Yutakayama searching for that belt, digging in. Iwakaze pulling away and executing a beautiful Uwate Nage. Just pivoting and wrenching on the outside of Yutakayama's belt, so he gets 3-4 for his score leaving today. Yutakayama the inverse 4-3, and Iwakaze gets his 2nd win against Yutakayama in 9 attempts. So, pretty valiant effort from Iwakaze. Yutakayama not too careful in keeping him from getting to his preferred stance. Hagoroyama 3-3 is against Yokozuna Kashiwado, who's only got 1 loss so far. They've had 21 meetings. Kashiwado has won 15 of them. Not a total blowout, but odds definitely favor him here. Hagoroyama is not in the greatest form ever. A little off sync there for the Tachiai. We'll try again. Kashiwado, Maemitsu digs for the front of the belt and then moves his way inside. Looks like a Morozashi to me. Hagoroyama leaning. Tries a Sotogake. That's no good. Kashiwado. What would you call that? I suppose a Yori Taoshi. Just a forward crush down. Didn't really land on top of him. Sort of... Well, it's hard to say. Very interesting. Kashiwado double inside. Forces Hagoroyama onto his back while remaining on his feet, so not really putting his weight on his opponent there. Were that the case, I'd probably just confidently call it an Abise Taoshi, but what are you going to do? Taiho is against Maedagawa. Taiho is undefeated so far, 6-0. Looking pretty unbeatable, frankly, and he, has a, on paper, pretty easy opponent. Maedagawa is 1-5, he's struggling. He's gotten 2 wins over Taiho in their 7 meetings to date, so a little more dangerous than the average rank and filer, certainly for the Yokozuna. Maedagawa comes in pushing, hooks the arm, tries to pull away, but Taiho follows him quickly, pushes him out Yorikiri, so another relatively easy win for the Yokozuna. Taiho making a statement. He is coming for the cup, and anyone is welcome to try and beat him. Well, that was a fine day of sumo. We're missing Kotozakura already. Hopefully he makes a full recovery in time for the next outing, the next basho. Thank you for joining me.